So when I was just doing scrying in the scrying bowl, the image that I got in my mind's eye was the Ten of Cups, which is a card that's all about happiness, fulfillment, happy home life, wishes coming true, that type of thing. And what's interesting about that is that I actually saw that card on the pre-shuffle when I was shuffling my tarot cards before. So I'm at, ooh, Fool on the bottom of the deck. That's interesting. That's a brand new start. I'm actually feeling a lot of that too. So if for all you guys who are new here, hi, welcome. My name is Erin. I'm a writer, an intuitive channel, and a witch, and I'm here to do a tarot read for y'all today about the Aquarius full moon, which is coming up on August 9th. It's a really big full moon. It's full of a lot of energies of basically all about Aquarius, right? Which is the hope, it's the future, it's, what can we bring to the collective that's coming from the core of our authentic selves? And then when we piece all of our authentic selves together, that creates that beautiful mosaic, right? So that's what we're looking for. And sorry, I just got the Knight of Cups and got a little bit distracted by that. I was getting a lot of other water imagery in the scrying bowl as well, which is interesting because Aquarius is an air sign. But I was getting an image of, first of all, I mentioned the Ten of Cups, but then I was also getting an image of a pool. And I also got an image of a house, which I associate with Cancer, which is a water sign. So that also might have, and this is, this card is another water card. This, I'm feeling, has to do with this conjunction that's coming up between Jupiter and Venus in Cancer. So Jupiter is the planet of good luck, expansion, and Venus is the planet of love, beauty, money, everything that we value. And they're coming together in the sign of Cancer, which represents our inner world, our home. So we could be seeing around this time, a lot of expansion of, what means the world to us. What do we hold in high regard? And we could also be seeing things fall away that we realize don't really matter all that much to us. Those types of things, what matters to us, what doesn't matter to us, what we hold in high value, what we hold in low value, those are all going to be coming up to the surface at this time. But let's keep shuffling and let's see specifically to the Aquarius full moon if we have any more messages from Spirit around that. We can get some more specificity around what the collective needs to know at this time around the Aquarius full moon, if there's any challenge coming up in the air, if there's anything that will be a blessing that will be coming in that we could be looking out for, that we want to be open to. I have one more shuffle. Queen of Pentacles sticking out there. Let's see. I'm laughing because guess what came out? It's the Ten of Cups. It's the card that I was seeing in my mind's eye in the scrying bowl just before I started the reading. I can't make it up, guys. Can't make it up. It's like usually when I get a repeat message like that, it's Spirit like wanting to like confirm it. Like, hey, we already showed this to you. Like, you need to dive a little bit deeper into that one particular message because we gave you the message. So maybe use your intuition and tune in a little bit more and see, what we're trying to tell you. All right, so let me tune into this card a little bit more since obviously Spirit is trying to tell us something here. Yeah, I'm still, before it was the same. I was seeing the pink and the green that's in this card. And to me, the pink and the green, I don't know why I'm thinking of like a child's bedroom. I think I might have had pink and green in my bedroom when I was a kid. But that sense of safety, comfort, home, where we go at the end of the day to feel safe. This is an interesting energy to come up, and I'm just popping out of channeling here for a second to say it's an interesting energy to come up because the Aquarius full moon is all about stepping out into the public, being seen. And I've been having those messages come through a lot about like, we need to stop hiding, we need to be seen. But we also have this opposing Cancer home life energy coming up here too. And, the opposite energy really. So let me tune in a little bit more here and see what's going on. Okay, Spirit, can you tell us what's happening with the water energy? Why do we need to know more about the water energy during the Aquarius full moon? I'm getting the hit to use my scrying bowl here. I actually use it a little bit differently. Like sometimes I'll just like stick my thumb in the water because the water helps me channel. Why are we getting the 10 of Cups, and why do we need to know about water on the Aquarius full moon? Okay, well, water is emotions, they're saying, right? I knew that. Sorry, that was rude. Apologize for being rude. I'm like, I knew that. What else you got? Everybody knows water's emotion. Okay, I gotta stop being sassy and just sit here and channel. Hang on. Okay, this is what I'm doing, FYI. Why do we need to know about emotions? Why are emotions important at this time? Okay, I'm being brought back to the reading that I did about when Jupiter first entered Cancer. And the reading that I did at that time, I believe, was the headline was "Your Emotions Lead the Charge." Because Cancer rules emotions, water rules emotions, and Jupiter expands everything it touches. So Jupiter was going to be expanding and still is going to be for its term in Cancer, which is going to be about a year, expanding our inner world, our emotions. And I think this is something personally I know that I've been working through, is that for many years, you know, especially if you're talking about bad emotions or negative emotions, emotions that you don't want to feel, you know, I have suppressed a lot of those emotions, and, you know, am just now realizing that I even did that in the first place. And I'm working on, you know, not making those emotions wrong, but bringing them to the surface and sitting with them and, you know, welcoming them in, even if they're scary, and saying, hey, why are you here? You know, and what can we learn from you? You know, what can we learn from the triggers? What can we learn from the sadness? What can we learn from the negative emotions? But on the flip side of that, you know, I think when we do that kind of shadow work, we open ourselves up to receive that that really beautiful wish fulfillment energy, and all those beautiful blessings that are coming in. I mean, my belief is that we can only experience one polarity, to, you know, sadness, to the extent that we've experienced the other polarity, happiness, right? So the more we experience and allow ourselves to feel our sadness, the more we're opening ourselves up to receive that happiness. So this is all kind of an unexpected message to come through for the Aquarius full moon. And I'm actually wondering if this message is maybe not specifically for the Aquarius full moon, if it's maybe specifically more for Venus and Jupiter meeting up in Cancer, because this stuff coming up seems more along those lines. Yeah, this is interesting. So this actually came up reversed. You guys know I don't tend to read reversals. Hang on, let me clean my camera here. What is going on? Why am I fuzzy? Is that better? You know how it goes. It's like summer, it's like sunscreen gets over everything, stuff gets blurry. Anyway, we got the Ace of Pentacles. It came up in reverse, but like I said, oftentimes when cards come up in reverse, I tend to see it as like how we're approaching the energy coming at us, right? Like the Ace of Pentacles upright is a blessing. It's a blessing coming from the universe to us, and it's something that shows up tangibly, physically in our real world. In reverse, we're not open to receive that blessing. We're closing ourselves off to that blessing. We're hiding from it, which is, you know, another channel that I got, that we're hiding from our blessings. I'll link that video down below. So really, it's how do you want to approach it? You know, you have a blessing coming in. Like we all have blessings coming in. That's been in the energy hardcore. But do you want to take this blessing from the universe, or do you want to hide from it? Do you know what I mean? Like we all have free will. We can all make that choice. And I think a lot of being open to receive has to do with that shadow work, has to do with allowing ourselves to sit with that emotion and keeping our heart open in that way, you know, not shoving these emotions to the side. That's interesting. So this is also the same situation. The Emperor came up in reverse. So again, it's like, how do we want to approach it? Do we want to, you know, sort of be in control of our universe? You know, Do we want to be powerful? Do we want to, you know, source our power from inside ourselves and not from the exterior world? You know, we can come from ego mind, and scarcity consciousness and fear, or, you know, we can take our cues from spirit and from our intuition and from our higher selves, and that's where real power comes from, right? So I'm getting the Jupiter energy strong from this, you know, Jupiter, Zeus, you know, that godly like energy. We kind of are our own gods, if that makes sense, when we're connected to spirit, when we're connected to that higher self and our intuition, which is the voice of our higher self. Guys, if you're interested in learning more about how to follow your intuition, because this is going to be so key, especially during this portal, during the full moon in Aquarius, but really, really just from now on, like, you know, basically from here on out. I would definitely recommend checking out the videos that I did on intuition versus fear, intuition versus anxiety, and intuition versus ego. So there's a few key tells that you can use to tell the difference between what those things are. We definitely want to be living our lives based on our intuition, because that makes us, you know, inherently authentic and powerful, and it makes us sort of ungovernable, right? Like we can't be controlled by the outside forces that are trying to grab our attention and our power all the time. When you're following your intuition, you're connected to your intuition, you know, all of that power is coming from inside yourself and your connection to spirit. So I'm going to link those below. I'm feeling like the message might be over, but yeah, I just grabbed another card and I'm not feeling it. Let me see what's on the bottom of the deck. Yeah. Queen of Pentacles. So this is, you know, I feel like this is us. Like we're just at that very beginning stage of receiving our blessings. Maybe some of us haven't seen them come in yet and we're feeling kind of frustrated. Maybe some of us have started to see them coming in and they're just in that like tiny like germ of a phase. Like, you know, maybe it's just a very, I think the Page of Cups, which is a small offer, came out in the pre-shuffle, like something like that. Like, you know, it's a very small contract. It's a very small offer of friendship. You know, it's a coffee date. But at the same time, like it has the potential to bloom into something bigger. So the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is really sitting in her power. And I think that all of us, you know, have the ability to be that person. You know, it's just a matter of learning to tune into spirit and live our lives from that place. And once we start to do that, that's when the blessings start to come in, you know, and I'm really feeling, especially with this Jupiter and Venus, Jupiter conjunct Venus and Cancer energy, that these blessings more and more are going to come in, but we can't hide. First of all, we can't hide from them. We can't hide from our blessings. We can't be afraid to be seen, you know, because that's like your blessings can't find you if you're afraid to be seen, is what I said in my last channel. And, you know, we just have to be following our intuition. It's our guide. It's our signpost. It's our beacon. It's gonna get us there. We just have to trust it and trust ourselves. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna leave the message there. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you later. Bye.